Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a car that's more than just a vehicle. In Indonesia, it's a national icon. We're talking about the Toyota Avanza, the undisputed king of the family MPV segment. For nearly 2 decades, you've seen it on every street, in every city, from Jakarta to Jayapura. But why? What's the secret behind its incredible success? Is it just brand loyalty, or is there something more to this car of a million people? Well, stick around, because we're going to cover everything from its humble beginnings to the latest generation, its strengths, its weaknesses, and whether it's still the best choice for your family in today's crowded market. Let's rewind the clock to 2003. The Indonesian automotive scene was very different. People needed a car that was affordable, could fit the whole extended family, was tough enough for local road conditions, and cheap to run. Enter the first generation Toyota Avanza, code with Daihatsu, which sells it as the Xenia. It was a game changer. It wasn't fancy, but it was exactly what the market craved. It had a simple ladder frame chassis, like a small truck, which made it incredibly durable. It was rear-wheel drive, giving it better traction on steep, slippery hills, which is a common scenario in many parts of Indonesia. And with 3 rows of seats, it could carry 7 people, grandma, grandpa, the kids, everyone. The engines, a 1.3-liter, and later a 1.5-liter, were not powerful, but they were bulletproof and fuel efficient. Plus, being a Toyota, parts were everywhere, and every mechanic knew how to fix it. It was the perfect recipe, and it sold like hotcakes. Over the years, the Avanza evolved. The second generation, launched around 2011, brought a more modern look, better features, and improved safety. But it kept the core formula: rear-wheel drive, tough construction, and practicality. Toyota was smart. They didn't mess with success. They just refined it. This is when the Avanza truly cemented its legacy. It became the default choice for families, for ride-hailing services, for small businesses. Its resale value was, and still is, phenomenal. You could buy an Avanza, use it for 5 years, and sell it for a surprisingly high price. This reliability and financial security made it an even more attractive proposition for the average Indonesian family. It was a safe bet, a wise investment. But then, the competition started heating up. Rivals like the Mitsubishi Xpander and Suzuki Ertiga came onto the scene. They offered more stylish designs, more comfortable unibody platforms, similar to passenger cars, and front-wheel drive, which provides more interior space. The Xpander, in particular, with its futuristic looks and SUV-like stance, really shook the market. Suddenly, the Avanza started to look a little old, a little dated. Its truck-like ride felt harsh compared to the smoother, more car-like experience of its new competitors. The interior, while functional, lacked the premium feel and modern tech that others were offering. For the first time in its reign, the king's throne was shaking. Toyota knew they had to respond, and boy, did they. In late 2021, the all-new third-generation Avanza was unveiled, and it was a revolution. Toyota threw out the old playbook. They ditched the ladder frame chassis and the rear-wheel drive. The new Avanza is now built on the modern Daihatsu New Global Architecture Platform, or DNGA. It's a monocoque body, just like a modern sedan or SUV, and its front-wheel drive. This was a massive change and a risky one. Many loyalists wondered if it had lost its soul. But this switch brought huge benefits. The ride comfort is now night and day. It's smoother, quieter, and handles much more like a car. The switch to front-wheel drive also eliminated the transmission tunnel running through the cabin, which means the floor is flat. This creates a huge amount of interior space, especially for second and third-row passengers. The cabin feels so much more airy and spacious than before. Let's talk about the design. The new Avanza looks sharp, modern, and much more premium. It has a large, aggressive front grille, sleek LED headlights, and a much more dynamic profile. It looks less like a simple utility van and more like a stylish, modern MPV. It's a design that appeals to a younger generation of car buyers. And for those wanting even more style, there's the Veloz, which is now a separate model line. The Veloz is essentially the top-tier, more luxurious version of the Avanza, with a distinct design, bigger wheels, and more premium features, almost like Toyota's Lexus. This strategy allows Toyota to cater to both the practical, budget-conscious buyer with the Avanza and the style-conscious buyer with the Veloz. Now for the interior. Hop inside, and the transformation is just as dramatic. The dashboard design is modern and driver-focused. The materials, while still mostly hard plastics, feel better assembled and look more upscale. You get a floating touchscreen infotainment system, usually 7 or 9 inches, depending on the trim, with smartphone connectivity. The instrument cluster is also modernized, with some trims even getting a partial digital display. One of the best new features is the long sofa mode for the seats. You can fold the front and second row seats flat to create a long, continuous, lounge-like space. It's perfect for relaxing or even taking a nap while waiting for the kids or during a long road trip. Practicality is still king. There are cup holders and storage compartments everywhere you look. Under the hood, you still have the reliable 1.3-liter and 1.5-liter four-cylinder engines. But the big news is the transmission. The old, somewhat sluggish 4-speed automatic has been replaced with a much more modern and efficient CVT, or continuously variable transmission. The CVT makes acceleration smoother and helps with fuel economy. For the purists, a 5-speed manual is still available on lower trims. On the road, the new Avanza feels transformed. It's so much more comfortable to drive. The steering is light, making it easy to maneuver in tight city traffic. And the suspension does a great job of soaking up bumps. While some may miss the rugged, rear-wheel drive feel, the vast majority of buyers will appreciate the massive leap in comfort and refinement. Of course, no car is perfect. So, what are the downsides? Well, with the switch to front-wheel drive, some argue it might not be as capable on very steep and slippery inclines, especially when fully loaded compared to its rear-wheel drive predecessor. However, for 99% of daily driving scenarios, even outside the big cities, the front-wheel drive setup with modern traction control is more than adequate. Another point is that while the interior is a huge improvement, some rivals might still offer a slightly more premium feel or a few more tech gadgets in their top-spec models. The engine power is also best described as adequate, not exciting. It gets the job done for family duties, but don't expect thrilling performance when you put your foot down. It's engineered for reliability and efficiency, not speed. So, the big question, is the Toyota Avanza still the king? In my opinion, yes. With this latest generation, Toyota has successfully reinvented the Avanza for the modern era. They addressed its biggest weakness, comfort and refinement, while doubling down on its traditional strengths of practicality, reliability, and space. They've managed to create a car that appeals to both its loyal, longtime fans and a new generation of buyers who demand more style and comfort. It's no longer just the default, practical choice. The combination of its modern design, spacious and versatile interior, vastly improved comfort, and Toyota's unbeatable reputation for reliability and after-sales service is a package that's incredibly hard to beat. It's a testament to Toyota's deep understanding of the Indonesian market. They listened, they adapted, and they delivered. What do you guys think? Do you own an Avanza, old or new? What has your experience been like? Or do you prefer one of its rivals, like the Expander, Ertiga, or Stargazer? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories and opinions. This car is such a huge part of the culture here, and everyone has a story about an Avanza. And if you found this deep dive helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content just like this. It really helps us out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.